Warning, this review of WandaVision Episode 5 contains spoilers. If you have not yet seen this episode and don't wish to get spoilers, do not watch this video. You have been warned. Otherwise, enjoy the show. So, in the beginning of this episode, they have like their same little intros that's like inspired by old shows such as I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke, and Bewitched. Oh yeah, and also Brady Bunch. This one almost gave me a little Roseanne type of feeling. So in the beginning, when their neighbor, Auntie what? What's her name? Agnes. That's Agnes. That was their neighbor's name. She comes in and she's like, "Oh, I'm ready to take care of the kids," and you know they're so happy to see her. But then Vision brings up like, "Oh, maybe that's not a good idea." Then she looks back at Wanda, thinking like, "You sure don't." Wait, what did she say?
Actually, you know what? You just maybe we better not. Do you want me to take that again?
I'm sorry?
You want me to hold the babies? Should we just take it from the top?
Now that was another what is going on moment. In that moment, I was also just like, oh, what's going on? And notice how when what the hell is going on moments happen, the camera kind of changes when it starts zooming in on both of them. Kind of like a soap opera. And I like how Vision's just reacting like, what? Which, by the way, I love how their performance has been. Elizabeth Olsen and the actress who plays Vision. I think them playing as like comedy characters, you know, trying to be funny. I think it works well. I think they do a pretty good, a decent good job. They're not trying too hard. They're just like doing it naturally. It feels natural, and it feels like, you know, they're doing it like the way they used to do it back in the days and those comedy shows. I think they do it. I think they do a pretty good job, especially Vision. I think he does a really, really good job, especially in episode 2 when he was like he had that piece of gum stuck in his system, and he was acting like so drunk and everything. And I thought that was really. I think he did a really good job in that episode. But anyways, Agnes was just like, "Do you want me to take care of the kids? Should we start from the top?" In that moment, I didn't fully understand what was going on, not till later. But rewatching this episode again right now makes me think, what if Agnes knows what's really going on? Because if you look back on episode 4, if I'm not mistaken, no, episode 3, I'm sorry, after Wanda gave birth to her twins, and Vision was outside with the doctor, and the doctor left, and he sees his neighbors talking, and they're asking like, is Geraldine with your wife? And they start talking about how she doesn't belong here, or she has no home or anything. And when the neighbor was trying to tell Vision, you know, like, you know, she's here because they're trying to tell him like what's going on. But then it was just like, no, like, shh, don't say anything. I felt in that moment, I think those two neighbors, I think some people in town know what the hell is going on, but they pretend to be happy or under Wanda's spell, because if Wanda found out, they knew that she'll put them back in where they need to be, you know, brainwash them and put them under her control again. So it's like, do they know? Because why did she look to Wanda and be like, you want me to take her to the top? Like, if she's in charge, like, she knows she's in charge. So it's like, does she know? And they also showed well, I think, I'm not sure if it was this episode or the episode 4. If I'm not mistaken, it could be in this episode where they show that Wanda broke into this headquarters where they kept Vision's corpse. She broke into there and took him back. Why? We don't know yet. I mean, obvious reasons that we could think about. She missed him so much and she couldn't bear to live on without him. So she wanted him back. But why would she go to that extreme? Maybe was she really under a lot of depression to where this like, I can't handle this anymore? Who knows? We can come up with a lot of theories and other stuff. That's like the most logical explanation why she would do such a thing. But what if there's more to it than that? And then that's when Vision calls Wanda over. And he's like, what's that about?
What did that with Agnes just now?
Well, I think she just got confused for a moment. She seems fine now.
What she said, the way she looked at me.
How did she look?
So when Vision starts questioning Wanda, like, what was all that about Agnes? Just the way she talked to you like that. And Wanda's just still dismissing it. Ever since episode 3, when he spoke to the neighbors, he knew something is going on that he has no idea what up to now. And I love what happens towards the end, but we'll get to that in a bit. But he's already been like suspicious, and he's been trying to pick up like what is going on little by little. And in this part,
And where are the twins? Mommy? Daddy?
when they're like, where did the twins go? All of a sudden they turn around, and they're big. They're like, what, 5 years old or something? Or they're a couple of years older. No, they're not 5 years old yet, but later on they still continue to grow. So in that part, it's like, okay, I've been noticing, I can't remember which episode, but you start to notice that time is moving fast in this world. Really fast. And it's like, what the heck is going on? Why is it moving so fast? Like the kids, all of a sudden they just grew up so fast. Oh, because the moment when she got pregnant, when Wanda found out that she was pregnant, and then she was already going to getting close to giving birth to them, it's like, what's going on? Is she making this happen, or why? I have no idea. But obviously, time is moving really fast in there. And also, you start to notice, I think it was in the last episode, episode 4, that you start to understand that, yeah, Wanda really did create all this, and she's in control of it. Does she have the power to create living things? Also, in that one episode, I think it was the episode before episode 5, I think it was towards the end of episode 4, after Vision comes back and asks Wanda, what happened to Geraldine? And she's like, oh, she didn't belong here. And she looked back at Vision, and she sees him dead. The way he looked after Thanos destroyed him. I was like, oh my god, that's horrible. But then she closes her eyes and like if she's like, no, I need to see him alive. I need to see him as he is. Question. Now that we're in this topic, let's go ahead and talk about it right now. Since we pretty much know, a lot of us saw what happened in episode 5. And Wanda saw Vision the way he did after Thanos killed him, his dead corpse. If this whole world is everything that Wanda created, is it possible that after she got Vision from that headquarters where they were keeping his corpse, after she got him back and brought him into this world, and somehow, maybe it was her, I'm not too sure if it was her, but if she has that power to bring people back to life, which I'm not too sure, because towards the end of this episode, when her children's dog died, they told her, bring him back, and she's like, I can't do that. That's something that's against the laws of magic, it has a price. I was like, oh, once upon a time. So anyways, I thought that was very interesting for her to say that, because now it questions me, did she really bring him back? And if she did, is she using the dead corpse is she using the dead corpse of Vision to put him where he is right now? I hope that makes sense. You get me? I hope this live version that we're seeing of Vision, this Vision that's alive right now, I wonder if that's the dead corpse that Wanda's using. Unless she did something to put him back together and now he's alive. But my question is, why did she see him dead? Is that how he really looks in reality? Instead of this whole fantasy comedy world? You get me? If so, that's so sad and so disturbing. It's like, what have you done, Wanda? We go back into Wanda's world, and Agnes comes in with the doghouse, because the kids, they brought a dog into the house and everything, blah, 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 blah. And Agnes comes in, and Wanda does a magic in front of her. But then Vision was all like, Wanda, why did you do that? And she's like, oh, she didn't even notice. And Vision's like, that's still not what we agreed upon. We promised each other that we were going to consult our abilities and hide, who we are to protect ourselves from these people. And you see, he starts to get more suspicious, because it's like, why is Wanda doing all this stuff now in front of Agnes? And it leads me to question still, like, does Agnes really know what's going on where she feels comfortable doing this stuff? And that's when Vision was just like, what aren't you telling me? And boy, does it get really interesting towards the end, but we'll get to that in a bit. We're almost there. And then later on in the show, I want to get to this other interesting part where Vision is at work, and they're installing their new computers back in the day. And then he gets a message from the outside world. And everybody's reading it, and I thought that was kind of creepy. And then that's when Vision is just like, what the heck? And then that weird moment where he touches the computer, and then touches that friend next to him, and all of a sudden he just snaps out of Wanda's spell.
Please help me. What day is it? How long has it been? Where's my phone? I have to call my sister. Roll taking care of her dad. He's sick. Where's my phone?
Calm yourself, Roll. I can't understand what you're trying to tell me.
You have to stop her.
Stop who?
She's in my head. None of it is my own. It hurts. It hurts so much. Just make her stop. Just make her stop. Now tell me this. If I say
So I thought that was really interesting. Like, he snaps out of Wanda's spell, if it is Wanda, and it's just like, just make her stop and everything. It's the same thing that happened to that woman back in episode 2, the one that was in charge of the event that they were gonna have, where she's just like, I know who you are, you and your husband. And Wanda's like, I don't know what you've heard, but I mean no harm. She's like, I don't believe you. And then she heard the radio, and I think that radio, now that I think about it, maybe that radio triggered something to help that woman snap out of it, and she's just like, who am I? You know? And then everything just went back to normal. The same thing happened with, I think it has to do with something with like, what, electricity or something? Because after Vision touched the computer, he touched the guy, and he just snapped out of it. But then Vision snapped him back into Wanda's spell, and then he's all like, back to normal again. If Vision can now do that, help people snap out of it, shoot, start, Vision, what are you doing? Start going everywhere and start breaking Wanda's spell and help people snap out of it. Get answers. So anyways, now we're going to move on to the part where Wanda is with her 2 sons and, you know, they're playing with the puppy, their new dog.
Do you have a brother, Mom?
I do.
I do.
He's far away from here, and that makes me sad.
So in that part when one of her sons asks her, Wanda, do you have a brother, Mom? And she's like, I do. She says, I do, instead of I did. But then she talks about he's far away now. Now that I'm watching this again, it's like, I thought she was talking about like, yeah, she did, but he's far away now, up in heaven, or, you know, and I miss him. And I'm pretty sure the moment that dog got up and went straight to the door, I know what was going on through all of your minds, because the same thing was happening with me. And my mom was all like, her brother's at the door. I was like, who knows? But no, it was not who we thought it was going to be. It was actually another thing that was happening with the helicopter. Trespassing in Wanda's world, trying to see what's going on. And boy, does Wanda get pissed. And that's when things get really good.
Wanda decides what makes it onto her show and what doesn't.
And here we go.
And you see, and when they mention that Wanda is the one who controls what she wants to be shown on her show and what doesn't. And when she sees a helicopter,
I just want to talk. That's it.
you see her eyes glow red.
Wait, my controls aren't working. Reconnect patch.
Disregard. Take a shot.
What?
That part was like, what?
Shot.
They were willing to shoot Wanda. I was like, no. And then when you hear that, when the camera cuts off from the helicopter, and you hear that gunshot, I thought, please, Lord, don't tell me they shot one of her boys. That was my first thought. I thought by accident they shot one of her boys, and I thought that's gonna get her very pissed off.
What did you do?
There's a breach, sir.
But she does get pissed off either way, because they were trespassing. And boy, this is where I was like, oh, so excited. So, we come to the part where Wanda reveals herself as Scarlet Witch. When she comes out through her bubble world, and you see, at first you see like this shadowy figure coming through the portal, or the little bubble world that she's in. And when she emerges, it's her in her Scarlet Witch outfit, and her Avengers outfit, I guess you could say. So when she emerges through that bubble, I was just like, oh shit. It's about to go down. She's like dragging the helicopter behind her, or that machine that they use to go into her world. I love how she does it. She's like, "Is this yours?"
The missile was just a precaution. You can hardly blame us, Wanda.
I think I can. This will be your only warning. Stay out of my home. You don't bother me, I won't bother you.
And notice how in that part, that's when you hear her Russian accent returning. That's the real Wanda, not the one in that fantasy world. But is it really Wanda? I have to say, in this whole scene, I thought to myself, after the whole scene, I thought, but was that really Wanda? I'm pretty sure mostly it was, but I have this theory like, what if it was someone else pretending to be Wanda? But it had to be her because after she saw the plane flying outside of her house, I'm pretty sure she grabbed it, then brought it back to the outside to these people, and then just threw it back to them. So I'm pretty sure it was her. It was not somebody else. Because it's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are asking like, well then who do you think it is? It's like, I don't have enough evidence. I don't have proof to push my evidence to be like, oh, it was somebody else. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was mostly Wanda herself, threatening those people to stay out of her world.
You've taken an entire town hostage.
Well, I'm not the one with the guns, Director.
I'm not the one with the gun. I was like,
You are the one in control.
yeah.
You're still here.
She is just like evil now, where she's just like, I don't care anymore.
Wanda, I didn't know the drones were armed. But you know that, don't you? A town full of civilians and you, a telepath, brought a sword agent into your home. You trusted me to help deliver your babies. On some level, Wanda, you know I am an ally. I want to help you.
How? What could you possibly have to offer me?
What do you want?
I have what I want. And no one will ever take it from me again.
You see, so let's talk about that part. So when she says that and looks straight at the guy behind Monica, that I have what I want. Well, she first says her line to Monica, like, I have what I want, and no one is going to take it from me again. And she looks straight at that guy. I was like, why did you look at him? Did he do something bad? It's like, why to him in particular when she said that line? Also, when she said that, she has everything she wants now. She has Vision back. She has a family now. So it's like, yeah, I have what I want now, and no one's going to take it from me again. Meaning, I lost my brother in the past. And then Vision comes into my life and brought meaning to my life again, where it's like, it helped me move on. He helped me move on. He helped me love. And then I lost him to Thanos. I lost everything. Again, it's like, put yourself in her shoes. It's like, why does this happen to me? I thought I was going to be happy, but now this is not fair. You know, if you put yourself in her shoes, it's really not fair. And then when you get this world, this fantasy world where you have everything that you want, a family, and the one that you loved is back in your life, do you want to give that up again? Do you want someone to take that away from you again? That's really tough. And I think Wanda is really going through a rough time, where it's like, none of you are going to take this away from me, because if you do, I'll kill you all. That's why I love this scene so much, because it's like, oh my god, Wanda has gotten to the point where it's like, back off, where she's just like, I don't care anymore. And then she does this Magneto part from X-Men, the movie, where she controls all the soldiers with the guns who are pointing right at her to point at him. And I thought, that is so like her father Magneto in X-Men, the first movie, where Magneto is surrounded by all the armed cops or SWAT team. They're pointing the gun at him and his Brotherhood mutants, and then he just flips the gun right back at them. And I'm just like, that is so like your father. And I thought, if that's what you try to do, people of Marvel who directed this show, awesome job. Nice Easter egg. I was like, oh, because that's what it so reminded me of. I don't know if it reminded you guys who've seen the X-Men movies, the same thing, but it sure did for me. I was just like, oh, girl, you're just like your father. So, after that amazing scene happened, and Wanda goes back to her fantasy world, it takes place, now we're in the part where she's with her sons, and they're trying to look for their missing dog. And they find out that their dog is dead. And Wanda, is trying to comfort them, but then
fix anything, Mom.
the,
Fix is dead.
when the
What?
kids mention that, one of her sons mentions like, "But Mom, you can fix anything. You can even fix the dead." And Wanda looks at him like, "What?" She says no.
You can do that?
And you see, Agnes is just like, "You can do that?" Like,
I am trying to tell you that there are rules in life. Okay? We can't rush aging just because it's convenient. And we can't reverse death, no matter how sad it makes us. Some things are forever.
You said family is forever. He is family. Bring him back, Mom.
Bring who back?
oh boy. So it's like, okay, kids, how much do they know about their mom and their family? I mean, I'm pretty sure they know they have special abilities. And I wonder, do the kids have special abilities? I'm pretty sure they do. They must have something from the mom or dad, from Wanda or Vision. But it's like, them telling her you could bring back the dead, it's like, how do they know? I don't know, just something about those kids just is so suspicious to me. That part was a little sad, because yeah, Wanda is trying to explain to her kids how life and death works, kind of. And then we move on to the episode where another exciting moment happens, when Vision confronts Wanda of like, what the hell is going on here? So here we go.
Vision. Listen, can we...
Watch TV?
So once he confronts Wanda, he starts off with, "I spoke to Norm, but I spoke to the real Norm. That wasn't under your control," or what do you call it? Your vision something. And she's just like,
Vision. Listen, can we...
Watch TV? Turn in for the night so you can change everything over again.
and
No,
dismiss
no.
everything.
You can't control me the way you do then.
Oh.
Can't I?
I was like, oh.
I'm going to bed.
No, we're not done here.
And at that, when the credits were rolling, I was like, oh my god, is it really over? Really, really? And no, and they still keep talking. I was like, oh.
What is the maximum anomaly?
The what?
I have to believe that this, whatever this is, was subconscious at first, and that you only recently became aware of it.
Aware of what?
Norm has a family, Wanda. He has a family, and he can't reach them because you won't let him reach
I
them.
don't know what you're talking about.
Stop lying to me!
This, all of this, is for us. So let me handle it.
What is outside of Westview?
Okay, before that, we go on. That part was just like, oh, the moment he gets mad, Vision, I was just like, and then when Wanda is all like, you better calm down, let me handle this, and it's like, oh my god, is there going to be a rematch between Wanda and Vision when they had their fight? They sort of had their fight in Captain America Civil War. I was like, rematch, round two. Ah! The rematch that I really thought they were going to fight in that house. I was like, it's going down. I'm with Vision on this. I was like, if Wanda is really going down this road, I'm not gonna have it either. I'm not gonna have it. It's like, you need to tell me something. You need to give me answers, woman.
What is outside of Westview?
You don't want to know, I promise you.
You don't get to make that choice for me, Wanda.
You've never talked to me like this before.
Before what? Before what? I can't remember my life before Westview. I don't know who I am. I'm scared.
That stings. When Vision said that, like, he can't remember anything what happened to him before his past life. So it's like, yeah, even what's her name? Dr. Lewis. She mentions like, what happens when Vision finds out the truth? How's he gonna react? And right now he's like at his worst, at his moments where it's like he's freaking out and he has no idea what's going on. And this is scaring him. I would be too if I was brought into this world, and then little by little you start figuring out like, wait, something else is going on in this life where I don't understand. and my wife knows something about it, but she's lying to me. She's putting up a fake image of this world, and these people are caught in her spell, and they're in pain, and she's keeping this from me. It's like, what's going on, Wanda? Like, I need answers. We all do.
You are my husband. You're Tommy and Billy's father. Isn't that enough?
And I thought in that moment he snapped out of it. I was all like, no, Vision, you're onto something. Go back on this woman.
I don't know what the children in Westview.
And I thought that was a very interesting question that Vision pointed out. I did not know that. I did not notice it until he pointed it out. Why aren't there no children in Westfield? And I thought that's so true. Because if you remember in episode 2, they were doing that event for the children. And when they mentioned this, I was like, there's no children in this world. I've not seen a single children, only adults. So where are the children? The only children that are in this world are just Wanda's and Vision's children. And are they even real? Are they really real? If so, like, why are they growing up so fast? I feel like they're fake because it's like, wow, they're really growing up so fast. And I think that's going to mess things up for the family. I don't know. I feel like that's something disturbing and something that could really mess things up in the family. I just feel like that's, going against the laws of magic or the laws of reality. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think there's a price for all this.
The playground stands empty every morning I walk to work. Why? Tell me why.
Do you really think that I am controlling everything?
You see? And then when she says that, do you really think I'm controlling everything? And it's like, in that moment I was like, I thought she did. But you see, it goes back to like making me think, well, maybe she is not in full control of this world. Maybe, because look, hold on.
I don't know how any of this started in the first place.
You see?
Oh, Wanda. What you're doing here, it's wrong. It is wrong.
You see? So maybe, here's my thought, here's my theory. Her coming to this world, like, she has no memory of what happened before, but her coming to this world, seeing Vision and everything, she thought, I'm going to take advantage of it. I have no idea what's going on. This is all maybe a dream or a fantasy to me, but I want it. I want it all back. Who wouldn't do that? I mean, we're not all perfect human beings. And if we've gone through so many tragic moments like Wanda did, wouldn't you want all that back? You may think this is wrong, bringing people back from the dead and everything, all this, getting everything that I want could be so wrong, but at the same time, I want it. We all know that we can't have everything. It's just not how it works. In reality, it's just not how it works. But given that opportunity, what would you do? Would you throw it all away? Or would you keep it? Really ask yourself that question. Would you really? Some of you may say, like, I wouldn't know, whatever it is. But you're not in that shoes. It always happens when we say, like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that stuff either, whatever. You say that because you've never been in that person's shoes. You may think, well, if I was in this position, I would do this. But when you really are, when whatever's happening really does happen to you, let me say that again. Whatever's happening to this other person now starts happening to you, you start to understand, now I know how they feel. Now that I'm going through it, I understand why they did this. I'm tempted. I hope you all understand what I'm going through with this. Basically, what I mean is, like, we're all not perfect human beings. And I think Wanda had a weak moments where it's just like, I'm going to keep all this. And whatever's happening, I'm going to make it work. But that's just my theory. Because like I said, it all goes back. If Wanda is not in control of everything that's been happening, then who is? And who gave her all this? Because later on, when the big surprise happens, it gives me a very big question. And I thought, damn it! When the doorbell rang, I was like, damn it! Something to interrupt their moments, because it's like, finally, we're getting answers. Keep going, Vision. Keep going at her. And then when that doorbell rang, I was like, damn it! And then that's when I was like, it's her brother. I'm like, you don't know. Just wait.
You don't believe
Wanda, I want to, but at this point, I'm ignoring statistics entirely.
And he has a point. I don't blame him. I wouldn't trust my wife either after finding out all these truths. So, I'm pretty sure in this moment we were all thinking, could this be? I thought it too, because I thought when she kept talking about her brother in the previous episodes, I think maybe 3 times, and when the doorbell rang again, I was like, who could be at the doorbell? I hope it's not Agnes. But I thought too, I was like, could it be her brother? And when she opens the door and she's just like,
Wanda, who is this?
so let's talk about this part. When she opened the door and she has that reaction, and the camera's like is behind the person who's at the door, and you see that famous white grayish hair that turns to black or dark gray hair to the very bottom. I'm pretty sure we all thought the same thing. I really thought it was Pietro, the actor who played Pietro and Avengers: Age of Ultron. I thought it was him because it was the hair, and I couldn't wait to hear his voice like sister, or that accent that he had. And then it was him. But my first reaction was just like, ah! And my mom's all like, what? What? I wish we could have recorded a reaction, but she's just like that little emote, that little GIF emote where the little girl's just like, like, what the hell's going on? What? Am I missing something here? Because she also thought it was going to be the brother from Age of Ultron, but then she sees this guy, she's like, what the heck is that? But I'm sure a lot of us freaked out in that moment because we're like,
Long lost bro, get to squeeze his stinking sister to death or what?
I don't know. And then he didn't have the accent, so it just defeats the purpose of like where they came from Russia and everything. He had no accent. So basically, I'm sure a lot of us who are familiar with the X-Men episodes, we thought, it's Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. The crossover is going to happen. The X-Men are coming to the Marvel franchise or whatever. We just went crazy. I know we did, but hold on. Hold on to your horses.
She recast Pietro?
And then when she said that Dr. Lewis is like, she recasted Pietro, when she said that, let's be honest. I'm going to be honest. I kind of didn't like it. I honestly wish it was the other Pietro. This actor, Peter Evans, I like him. I think he's a terrific actor. And I loved his performance as Quicksilver in X-Men Days of Futures Past and Apocalypse and so on, or Dark Phoenix. But at the same time, I'm just like, and he's cool and everything. I'm pretty sure they got him to do this part because, I don't know, a lot of people liked him as Quicksilver. I did too. I really did too. I thought he was a likable character. But I felt like it was a move to like push it in to be like, oh, this is really gonna get people thinking that now the X-Men movies, the other X-Men movies, are coming into this universe, to this Marvel, to the Marvel franchise, So it's like, I don't know. It felt like that little push. I know a lot of us liked it. A lot of us went crazy. I did too. Don't get me wrong. I really did too. But in reality, let's be honest, I felt at the same time, I was like, because if I put myself in someone else's shoes and I see this person, like my mom did, she's just like, what the hell's going on? Like, she's missing the purpose, I told her. And once I explained to her, like, this guy's from the other X-Men movies, and she's just like, what? And I'm like, yeah, because, and when I explained to her, because what Marvel's trying to do now that they own the company from Fox and everything, now they're going to bring all these Marvel movies that were in the Fox company into now Marvel's universe. They're doing a multi-universe, Mom, because there's alternative. And she's just like, that sounds so complicated. Why are they going in that route? Why are they trying to do that? Why can't they just keep it simple? And I'm just like, well, that's just how it was in the comic books, Mom. Now they're going to bring all these characters from the other movies to this Marvel. And she's just like, I don't know. I don't know. So I thought, well, think about other people too. I think for a lot of people, they were just like, huh? So I don't know. I was excited, but at the same time, I was just like, a little iffy about it. But hold on.
Who's the popsicle?
Who's the popsicle? I didn't even notice he said that. Okay, So let's talk about that most epic moment, the big twist. Okay. I'm sure a lot of us are like, oh, because that's when X-Men's coming in, whatever, whatever. We're going back to that. Honestly, guys, this is my opinion. It doesn't mean diddly squat. It doesn't mean diddly squat because it doesn't make sense. But it does point out something. Someone in this world with Wanda is throwing these things at her. Someone put this version of Quicksilver into her life. Another thing, when she mentioned, like, Pietro, she allowed it. She called him Pietro. I'm like, Wanda, you know better that's not your brother. You know how he looks. Unless you wanted to change him. And if she did, why would she change him into this version of Quicksilver? Or why did this, whatever who's also is in this world with Wanda, who could be the one in charge and behind all of the stuff that's going on with Wanda, the real one in charge, why would he make this Pietro look like the way the other Quicksilver in in a different alternative universe look like that? You know, it doesn't mean anything. It just means, like, could this be the Pietro from that world? Or he's just copying this Pietro from that other world. You know what I mean? Could it be? And if it is that Pietro from that other world, why is he here? It just leaves, honestly, it just brings more, it just leaves more questions. It brings up more questions, not answers. It's nothing set in stone yet. Yes, maybe we've already heard that they're going to bring in the X-Men and everything into this, and this is probably a big step. But at the same time, it still doesn't make sense. Why this Pietro? Why Peter Evans' Quicksilver version? Why? Is it because they really are trying to push, like, oh, here you go, Marvel fans. There's your hint that, oh, they're coming together, the X-Men and everything else from that other alternative universe. But it just doesn't make sense for me. And I hope you all understand where I'm getting at with this. Maybe you all do, and that's terrific. Maybe you all do and everything. But for me, I'm just trying to put myself in the other people's shoes. I should have made that clear. I'm trying to think for a newcomer to this Marvel franchise and everything, the series, the Marvel universe. If I see this, I'll be like, what the heck is going on? It just doesn't make sense. But maybe later on it will. Maybe it will. But to me, it just feels like it doesn't mean anything yet. It just leaves me more questions. I want an accurate, set in stone answer. Like, is this the Peter Evans from that universe, or is just someone, a fake hallucination that whoever's really controlling this world is just putting this in front of Wanda? And then Wanda just saying, Pietro? We all know that's not her Pietro. We all know that how he really looks. So I don't know. I feel like something is controlling her too. Because why would she just accept that that's Pietro? Unless, I don't know, maybe in the next episode that's coming out tomorrow. I really hope I get this video uploaded in time before the next episode premieres tomorrow, episode 6. But maybe in the next episode she's going to be like, I don't know, there's just something odd about this Pietro. Because she knows her brother died. And now she has this other Pietro. I think she could have been just like, who are you? And if I would have understood that if she could have been like, and then it's your brother, and then Peter Evans' Pietro is like, it's me, your brother Pietro, and she still has that confused look, like, what? And then it just ends from there. You know what I mean? That would have made more sense. But she accepts him as Pietro. It's like, how do you know that's your Pietro? He may have the hair. I don't know. It just leaves more questions for me. But hopefully, I trust Marvel. I just hope they start making more sense. Because I have doubts. I honestly do. I really do have doubts that I hope they're not really rushing things to bring all the X-Men characters from this other universe and the Spider-Man characters into this Marvel universe. I hope they're not really pushing it too hard. I hope it makes sense with the story. You get me? Because sometimes forcing something else into a story that you already have well thought out could mess things up. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Let's just hope they have something figured out. Let's just hope they have something figured out. But here's my thought. If they're going to bring these X-Men characters, Peter Evans from this other universe, into this Marvel universe, does that mean they're not gonna recast the whole character, the whole X-Men characters? You know what I mean? Because I really thought they were just gonna recast everything, which I hope they do. Because Peter Evans, I mean, I do like him. Like I said, I think he's a good actor and everything. But I was hoping they would just recast all the X-Men characters, actors. Because let's be honest, I kind of didn't like the new cast members from the X-Men, Apocalypse and the Dark Phoenix. They were okay. I know they did their best, but maybe they were just not given the right people to help them bring these characters back to life or portray them. But I'm hoping they do recast. But if not, if they're bringing this Peter Evans Quicksilver into this Marvel universe, are they going to bring Sophie Turner, who plays Phoenix, into this Marvel universe? The same thing with Cyclops and Storm. Those actors and actresses who are portraying those X-Men characters, are they not going to be the same ones in this one? Maybe they could. Maybe so that way they won't waste time. Like, well, they've already got new actors and actresses for these X-Men characters, so why don't we bring them into this Marvel universe instead of just recasting them, because people are already now familiar with these guys. But they can recast. I feel like they could still recast people and get, better actors and actresses. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm pretty sure those actors and actresses did their best with those X-Men characters, but I think they should do a fresh start. But that's just how I see it. If not, let's just hope for the best. If they're going to keep the same actors and actresses from the old X-Men movies. And I know they said they're going to bring Wolverine and everything. Those are just the rumors right now. But they're in talks about it. So it just leads me to that question. And if so, because, we've already heard stories about Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man movie, that they're going to bring Tobey Maguire and God knows who into this one Spider-Man movie, which I'm kind of nervous about too. But that's a whole different subject. Right now, let's get back to WandaVision. Those are my questions. Like I said, it just leaves us more questions, but hopefully we'll get more answers. And also, guys, I think there's only a few more episodes left for this WandaVision series, for season 1. Will they be able to finish the whole story of WandaVision in one season? And if not, will there be a second season? I would understand. I feel like they might not be able to fit everything into one season, like the whole story. I feel like there could be a season 2. There could be. I don't know. That's just how I'm thinking. Because everything is just so happening so fast now. Although it is getting really good, the show, WandaVision. But I feel like, will they be able to answer all of our questions in time, fit it into this one season? And if not, bring in season 2. Because they still haven't introduced the real master behind all this fantasy world that Wanda is in. Remember, she has no clue how she got here, but she's going along with it. And someone did bring this Peter Evans, Pietro Quicksilver, brother of hers, into her home now. And somebody did it to interrupt Vision's conversation with Wanda. They know what's going on. That's just my theory. I really don't know who, but we'll just have to wait and see, guys. But it's getting really good. So yes, those are my thoughts about season 5. There was a lot to talk about season 5, definitely. Oh, definitely. I'm sure a lot of you guys had a big discussion with all your friends and families back at home who are big fans of the Marvel movies and the other X-Men movies, where you just went crazy and had to geek out about it. So did I, don't get me wrong. So I'm just here sharing my thoughts with you all, for those who are interested in hearing my thoughts. Remember, these are thoughts from a person who is not too familiar of what's going to happen in the future. I try to stay myself away from possible spoilers, sneak previews of what's going to happen in the next episode. I stay away from all that because I like to be surprised of what's to come. This Peter Evans surprise, it did surprise me, but at the same time I was like, well, it was bound to happen because it was all over the news that, oh, X-Men is now coming into the Marvel franchise. It's like, it was bound to happen soon. So it's like, I'm now trying to stay away from any possible spoilers, any possible articles that are just going to spoil too much. I think they need to really work hard on not revealing too much of what's going to happen in the future Marvel movies. I think they need to keep it a little more hush-hush. They really, really need to strongly work on that. Whoever's out in the Marvel studios getting all this information, needs to stop. Okay, let us people, let the fans be surprised when the moment happens, because I think they're revealing too much. Let us be surprised of what's to come in the future. But that's just me. I know a lot of you guys can't help but to wait. You can't wait. You can't be patient, that you have to go into the internet and find possible spoilers because you just can't wait. That's how a lot of us are. I used to be like that, but now I prefer to just be patient and wait, so that way when the moment comes and I'm watching the movie or a show, and when that surprise moment happens, I love that feeling because I had no idea what was going to happen. I love surprises like that. I love it because you have no idea that it was coming until it happens. But yeah, anyways, if you watched this whole episode up to now, thank you so very much for watching. I probably did miss some other possible highlights of the previous episodes and in this episode, and possible Easter eggs that I just didn't notice. But if you did, leave a comment below, and that way I'll be very much interested in reading it. So that way I could be like, oh. But please keep spoilers out of the comments. If I see a spoiler, you will be banned. Simple as that. You will be banned. You will be taken out. So that way we won't see that comment. But spoiler free, guys. Please don't reveal anything or anything. You can share your theories of like, well, I think, but if your theories is something facts that is really going to happen, don't try to trick us. Stay out of it. Don't just share your thoughts and theories of like what I just did right now, because I have no clue what's going to happen. But these are things that I think that could possibly happen. They're not things that I hope that will happen, because I don't want to be disappointed when it doesn't. They're just things that I think that could happen, but I welcome anything that does happen. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you all so very much once again. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, I'll be sure to leave up do another review video for episode 6. I'm pretty sure I most probably will, because I'm so into the show. I think it's doing a great job. Elizabeth Olsen and the actor who plays Vision have been doing an outstanding job playing these certain roles where they have to act funny, and then all of a sudden they break out of that character to become the Vision and Wanda that we know from the previous Marvel movies. I think they're doing a terrific job, and the story itself is very interesting. And I hope it continues to be interesting, and I hope it just continues to get better. But I hope for the next episode, I'm pretty sure we'll get maybe not all of our questions answered, but for sure thing, some of the questions that I have still is, where are the children? Why aren't there any children in Westview? Also, the one thing I forgot to mention was that when they were showing that who these people were, that they're in Wanda's fantasy world, that most of them are the townspeople, and one of them were someone were agents or whatever. They never did mention who is Agnes, and why is Agnes so like she's so like I said before, like if she knows what's going on, and then when Wanda just starts performing her magic in front of her, and then her children told her mom that, hey, bring back the dead, and then Agnes was just like, you can do that? It's like, who is she? And why is she in the cover of the poster? She's there. Why aren't the other people there? What makes her so special? There's something about Agnes that I'm very suspicious of her. There's something about her. Also, didn't she mention she had a husband? Who is her husband? Have we met him? I don't think we've ever seen him yet. I don't know. This is my theory too. What if Agnes, since she's pretty much like cool with everything that's been going on, especially like kind of chill with like knowing that Wanda can do all these things, and I think she's well aware of what's going on. Maybe her husband is like someone important that we haven't seen yet. I don't know. It's just, I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, it's like I know there has to be something with her husband. We haven't seen her husband. Then again, we haven't seen a lot of people, but we have yet to meet her husband. Maybe he's not important, but who knows? Because you know what they say? They say it's always the person that you least expect. So it's like, So, take good care of yourselves, guys. And like I said, if I miss anything, leave a comment below. And see you next time. Bye-bye.